but definitely for one thing, I really appreciate everyone on this call. I thank you for bringing me on here. It's a privilege. It's a big one for me, and I really appreciate. And this evening, trust me, we are all learning. I am learning. You're learning. So it's not just on oh, someone is teaching. Nobody's teaching this evening. It's an interactive thing. So we're all learning. Thank you. But before we talk about teamwork, basically, I'll start with this. And I think I took this phrase, this is a popular phrase, but I took it from when Biola sent the flyer to me. It says one tree cannot make a forest. And basically, I'll be tilting towards individualism in teamwork this evening. So why I said that is I'll be tilting towards you as a person. Are you able to work in a team? Are you an effective or a good team player? Are you a great person when it comes to team? Are you open? Are you transparent? Are you ready or willing to work with people and all of that? So then before I go into that, okay, thank you for my slide. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's all right. Or do you want to unpin me so you just have the slide only on the screen?
Okay.
Oh, that's amazing. That's good. Yeah, so basically we're talking about teamwork this evening, and aside the general together everyone achieve more, and that we always see, I thought of some other things to add for work. So I said teamwork is together everyone achieves more with optimism, respect, and knowledge. And before we go into team, I want to talk about personality first in just 1 minute. So Leonardo da Vinci once said that people of accomplishments weren't the ones who sat back and let things happen to them. No, people of accomplishments were people who went out and happened to things. And that's what I want to pick. So now we'll be sitting towards you going into a team and making it an effective team. You understand? And I will also remind us that the most important thing in our lives are not the things we do literally, but it's the people that do these things with us. Later in this, I'll tilt towards a something. I think that was the first creative I did in university. Then Biola should remember the street fashion Nigeria. It was an amazing creation, and while we go on, I'm going to talk about it. But before I go there, I would like to tell us about a story. Which the first thing, next slide, please, Bella. Which the first thing, which talks about the power of teamwork. Don't mind me. I wanted to put England's football, this thing, yeah, this one. I wanted to put England football squad, but I don't want any trouble. So I wanted to just literally, I wanted to compare both teams, France and England. But then I felt like, no, 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 I don't want troubles for myself. So I'll talk about a story first before I go into this. Now, the story is about a young man who's got dream of having this very big farm in his village. This is a fictional story, by the way. It's not like I heard this happened or anything. So he's got this. He has a dream to become the biggest farmer in his village. He has the land. He's got the money. He bought good seeds. He was working really hard for it. He did everything he needed to do. At first, it looked good. Yeah, planted all of that and everything went well. But along the line, the work now became overwhelming for him. The weeds started growing. He could not water them enough because it was a very big farm and all of that. And at some point, this particular man started becoming exhausted. Initially, he was supposed to go into this with his friends. You understand, about three of his friends, but You felt like, okay, no, 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 this is a dream. He would just want to do this alone. He wants to be the best in it. He wants to be the biggest. He wants to be whatever, whatever in the village. He wants to be known. He wants all the credit on himself. But then, before you know it, he would literally wake up before dawn and work to midnight. And yet it felt like the farm was literally slipping out of his control. He was becoming frustrated and lonely. So what happened was he called on to his friends, three of his friends. Oh, this is what's happening. I don't think I can't do this anymore. This is the dream. This is the common goal. This is what I want. But it's on me. I can't do it. It's too much and all of that. Mind you, one of his friends has a deep knowledge of planting. One of them has an experience in irrigation and water management. Then another has a very deep knowledge in planning and organization. Imagine those three combos, friends, and yet you want to do life alone. Very funny. But then after he shared his struggle and they offered to help him. Before you know, everybody brought their knowledge, their experience, their excellent skills into play, and boom, 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 everything started going well. The farm started moving. Um, Weeds were under control. Water management was going smoothly, and before you know, at the end of the season, they had great crops, they had huge profits, and all of that. And why am I saying this? It's just to let us know that no matter how big you think your idea is or small your idea is, you cannot do life alone. And when I say life, life is not just about okay, the bread we breathe. Life comes in form of our workplace, family, friends, anything that revolves around it. You cannot do life alone. And that is why I always say teamwork makes the dream work. You have a dream, and definitely the only way you can make that dream come to fruition is to work as a team. As we go on, I like to tell stories a lot. I don't know. As we go on, I'll push in a few stories and let us know. So with people, when people with different skills come together, success is great. Success becomes easier. Dreams, common goals are met, they are achieved regardless. So most times, one thing I just need you to pick this evening, if you're not going to pick any other thing, is it's not about sharing work when it comes to team. It's about sharing the passion, the vision, and the accomplishment. And that is why I will go to the next slide. Piola. So yeah, this was a poem written by me, this blah 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 blah. If you want to read it later, you can take a screenshot. It's something that I love to write once in a while. So it's just something that I need to push myself. So this is just an expression of a three. I know this is not like a three, it's like a plant or something, but regardless, imagine this. Let's just imagine this is a three. Let's imagine that's what we see or think is a forest. It doesn't look like a forest, literally. So one tree does not make a forest. The same way one person cannot achieve great things all by themselves. You cannot be the HR and be the accountant and be the CEO and be the engineer and be whatever, what and what's not. It's the same time. You get overwhelmed. At sometimes you get so tired. Sometimes you get exhausted or even become sick at one point because it will affect your health in a way. And that is why we need to learn that does make a lot of trees rather do make a forest. It's not just one tree. Next slide. Next slide, we'll be talking about teamwork. What is teamwork? I made it in the most what's it called? Simple way. Teamwork is when different people work together toward a common goal. Now, the work is not the issue. The common goal is the issue. When we work together, are we seeing this dream? Are we visualizing the same thing? Are we seeing the same thing? I want to go from Lagos to from Sokoto to Lagos, but someone else is going to Oshun. Someone else is going to Abuja. and we are in the same bus. But these roads are actually different. They take different routes to this road. Then how do we go? We can't walk if we have just one car. It can't work. So before you can work as a team, you have to share a common goal. And most times, when I have conversations with people about their team, I'm most concerned about the person themselves, individual. Can you work as a team? Do you share the same goal as a team? So it's not just about working side by side, it's about combining strength and helping each other in the team. Like now, thinking of a football team, like I said, I will definitely have to go to England back. I'm sorry, England. England, undoubtedly or unarguably, as one of it's one of the teams that has the um the large number of players with great potentials, not just potentials, but with great talent and skills. When you mention from the goalkeeper to the last person. But the funny thing is, so now England, even with their potentials, does not seem like a threat to any team in the world. So they have all those set of people that can do great things, that can dribble. Saka is there, Foden is there, whatever is there, Bellingham, all of them. But once they come together in England, it feels like they're playing with um pardon me if there's anybody from Togo, yeah, I'm sorry. It feels like they're playing with it feels like it's Togo you're playing against. You understand? And that is just because a lot of them can't work as a team. You understand? So in business and family, in our community, teamwork actually brings better results and it creates unity. Next slide. So next slide, we'll be talking about Facebook, which is the blue app. We all know the blue app. So Facebook, for example, it was an idea started by Mark in 2004 when he was in Harvard. And he felt, okay, this is the idea. I want to just bring everybody together in my school. So he called 5 of his friends and said, okay, let's do this. Number one, before you can become a great leader, you must understand that you cannot lead yourself. You have to lead a team. And before you can achieve anything in life, you have to work in a team. And that was the first thing Mark realized. He called 5 of his friends, and just 2 of them came. Just 2 of them showed up, Justin and Eduardo Sovereign. And the funny thing was, he only had the idea. He had the idea in his head, but he had little knowledge of programming, just a few knowledge, not like he was so deep into programming. Justin was the programmer himself. If you see the picture, Justin, the one in the middle, picture in the middle, Justin is the one on black. Oh, sorry, Justin is the one in the middle, rather, on red. Eduardo is the other one. So Eduardo has knowledge in business and finance. So he could literally open, revamp, do everything when it comes to business. He was that vast. Mark on his own was still learning programming. He wasn't so good at that time, but he had the idea. And he felt like, okay, how do I bring this idea to fruition? He had to call his friends. He called all his friends that he felt mattered, but only 2 of them came. But regardless, they worked as a team. And that's how the blue app, which we all know as Facebook, comes into play. This small idea that was supposed to be, okay, a college network where it could literally just network everybody in Harvard together, now became a global platform with billions of users in it. And with each person unique contribution, the idea made something great. And the funny thing about life is, if you want to do your idea alone, trust me, your idea will not move more than idea. It will always stay as an idea. And what's the great lesson I, for one, has learned about the Mark Zuckerberg story is that great ideas grow faster and stronger when people work together. When you have great minds that understand what you need, when they bring their unique expertise into it, because trust me, no one in this world succeeds alone. So the next thing we'll be talking about is I'm going to be really fast. How many minutes do I have left? Bella, sorry. Bella, how many minutes do
Yes.
I
Yeah, just calculating for you. You have
have?
23.
23, thank you. Okay, I'm going to be very fast with this. So next one, we'll be talking about why teamwork is important. So I said I was going to tell you about a story, Street Fashion Nigeria. This was an initiative in 2014. I was on IT in school at that time. So I was basically at home in my father's house, my bedroom in my father's house. And I was thinking about it. Oh, I'm in 400 level now. Okay, I've been doing quite a number of things in modeling, been doing this, been doing that. But we are in Akure, we are not blown like everybody should know us in Lagos and all of that. Then I thought about something. This wasn't just about me. I realized that at some point that okay, even fashion designers in Futa were struggling. They were not seeing clients, customers to order clothes and all. Photographers were facing the same, cinematographers, anything that revolved around the fashion world. Then I thought about it. What can we do? How can we do this? Then I brought out this great idea of bringing everybody together to achieve a particular common goal where everybody is known, is seen, and has their own clients, regardless of whatever you're doing. Then I sat down and said, okay, even if I call everybody, how do I go about it? What do I tell them? How do I do it? I've got a plan, but how do I do this? Then I thought about it. I have friends. I have friends that are into photography. I have friends that are into fashion. I have friends that sews. I have friends that does one or two things, different things at different points. Then I picked up my phone and I called one of my friends, Daniel. And I said, Dan, alpha, see what's in the up or this, and this. He was like, no, man, this is a great idea. Let's call these guys. Then we called about five of our friends. And trust me, just one thing that came from the bedroom of my father's house went to, it became a big thing at that time in 2015, 2016 in about 4 different states in Nigeria. And that's one of the initiative that brought on the Futa Fashion Awards in 2015, which became a very big one that even was covered by Vanguard at that time. And why am I saying this story? It's just because of these three things I've written, how teamwork or why teamwork is important. It's because it makes you experience less stress, it brings more creativity, and you have better results. Let me just pick few a quick one on each of them. Number one, better results. Why I want to say them is just for you to understand the points, the different points. Different ideas and skills leads to smarter decisions. And the funny thing, let me chip this in. Most of us have friends, and when we're talking about teamwork, we're not just talking about our workplace. We're not just talking about okay, because I'm working in this company, then I have to give them teamwork. I have to be an effective team or a good team player there. But when I get home, yeah, boom, boom, boom. In your house, it's a team. Within your circle, it's a team. In relationship, in your marriage, it's a team. And the only way you can get better results is for everybody to come together, bring ideas, think about things, think about how to make it really easy. And trust me, there's no how, it brings out better results. Because when different ideas and skills are brought into play, it leads to smarter decisions. Another one is less stress. Because literally you now start sharing workload. Okay, let's just imagine, let me use this as an example. In our house now, we are five. We need to wash the plates, we need to clean the kitchen, we need to clean the sitting room and all of that. If one person did that, the person might be on it for like 2 3 hours. And when the person is done, is exhausted, literally. But let's imagine we now share that. The main goal is to make the house clean. Then when we now share that, oh, you take on the kitchen, you do this, you sort that, you sort this, you sort that. Within 20 30 minutes, we're done and we have our results. So literally, when you work as a team, you have less stress, you experience less stress. Then another is more creativity. Different minds from different, it brings different perspective. I've seen a situation where I told someone about an idea. I felt like, okay, I had the best idea in my head. And boom, I just told my friend about it. And next thing, he said, wait, why don't you do it this way? And that minute I realized that what he gave to me was golden, to be honest with you. It made it really easy for me. Really easy. So let's imagine I did not tell him about it. I would have gone through a lot of stress. So it brings more creatives. It makes it more creative for us, leading to innovative solutions. You understand? So most times when we spend a lot of time working on things on our own, that doesn't mean it won't work. It does work, definitely. But when we work with people, when we do these things with people, when we share, when we share these goals, when we align properly, it's always amazing. And going back to SFN, Street Fashion Nigeria, the story I told you about, I wouldn't have accomplished what we accomplished at that time without those amazing people around me. And that's why I would say teamwork breeds innovation, it breeds partnership, it breeds collaboration, it breeds wealth. It breeds wealth, you should know. It breeds great accomplishments. And literally, what I'm just urging us this evening is most times when you think you can do things alone, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm just saying try it with people. I'm not saying just go to anybody and say, okay, this, let me do this. No, you know people with potential. You know people around you. When you even speak to them, you know what they say. Why are you keeping these things from them? Talk to them, collaborate with them, partner with them. You don't have to win alone. That's it. That's why it's called teamwork. That's why it's called winning. One person doesn't win, it's a team. Even okay, let's just imagine you are a solo winner. Maybe you play lawn tennis, like Roger Federer and the rest. Well, how about their trainers? They don't win alone. Okay, let's use a big example. AJ, Anthony Joshua, is out there, is boxing, is doing whatever. He wins, and it's like, oh, AJ has won, AJ has won. But do you know what happened behind? Do you know what the trainers went through? Do you know what the team went through? Do you know what medicals went through? There was something that happened behind the scene before you're seeing that winning. So we need to understand that working as a team is really important. The next one is how to be a good team player. How to be a good team player. Press it again. Press it again one more time. Number one is good communication. The issue most people have with being great team players is they cannot communicate effectively. And like I said, I'm not talking about the team right now. I'm talking about you in particular. You have to be a good communicator. You have to express yourself clearly. You have to speak clearly. You have to listen actively. You have to see people's points. You have to understand people. You have to understand each other as a team to know what and where we're going to. And just because I'm Russian, I'm going to like brush through, so I might not be able to put into details a few things. Then number two is respect. You need to value everybody's opinion and treat people with kindness. To be honest with you, So most times we feel like, oh, what's this one saying? Does he even have anything to say? I beg, we need someone else to say something. It doesn't work like that. In a team, there's no small, there's no big person. In a team, there's no manager, there's no whatever. Everybody are leaders. We just lead in different capacity. You understand? Another is reliability. Your team should be able to depend on you. Your team should know that, okay, we have Sean. So if there is anything, we can bank on him. You understand? So and this is what I would say, when something is committed to you, follow those things through, follow them through diligently. And the last one is flexibility. You must be willing to adjust when plan changes. And that's the new thing about the new word. Life changes, things change, technology change these days. You must be willing and you must be ready to change with that trend. And that is why they're telling everybody these days, if you're not flexible enough, then there's trouble. Because there are a lot of people who can fill that space. So you must be flexible enough to support your team whenever help is needed. Then the next one is how to work well in a team. So working well in a team, you have to set clear goals. And most times this clear goals doesn't come just from one person, it comes from the team. So whatever I'm going to be saying here is basically jumping on the team. Clear goals has to be set. Everybody needs to understand the objective and the rules of achieving that goal. Then number two, you have to divide your work. You can't do things alone. You can't do life alone. You cannot do everything alone. And like I said, I'm not just particular about our workplace. We are leaders everywhere. We're leaders in our churches. We're leaders in our mosque. We're leaders in our workplace. We're leaders in our houses. You understand? We're leaders among our friends. We're leaders in our relationship. And when we talk about leaders, we're not talking about being bossy, no. We're talking about being able to act, think, make decisions. You understand? So the number two of how to work well with a team is dividing the work among the team. You get. So let me remind you that, and I wrote something down. I said I wrote it somewhere so I don't get to forget. I said, let me remind you, the most important thing in life are not the things we do, it's the people we do these things with. Because literally, there's always someone on your team that has a solution or a strategy to the issues of the team, regardless. But you have to be open, you have to be transparent enough, you have to be ready to work as a team before you can go through these things. If you're not open to work as a team, trust me, you cannot achieve these things. There are a lot of times where I get stuck in projects, I get stuck in quite a number of things, and I'll just call someone in my team. I think I'm stuck somewhere. What do I have to do? What can I do? And all of this. Even when on a normal ground, anybody would think, okay, no, this person is not up to my standard. So I'm not sure the person will understand or will have that knowledge of what I'm talking about. But one thing I need you to understand, that regardless of where you think you are, even as a leader, you need to be humble enough to work as a team, to work in a team rather. First thing, first thing I should have literally written here is humility. You have to be humble enough. That's the only way you can work in a team. So I told the person, I said, okay, look at this. I'm stuck. I'm this and that. And the person looked at, it was a programming work that time on Python. The person looked at it and said, see the full stop you put here. So literally, I was on that for 2 days, not realizing I put a full stop where it was not supposed to be. And immediately we did it, the program ran perfectly. So you need to understand that you can reach out to people, you can be open to people, you can be transparent. And one thing before I forget this is, regardless of the idea you have, be able to share these ideas with people. I know a lot of people, I'm going to get there literally. I know a lot of people are actually scared. Oh, I can give someone my idea, I can share my idea with someone, they're going to take it, or they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But okay, let me hold that down till I get there so I don't jump into it. So back to this. When you collaborate, when you partner, when you work as a team, when you divide your work effectively rather, you will see all these great ideas come to life. You understand? You see things happen, you just see amazing things just happening. Then another is supporting each other. Always be ready to support your team, because there are times you will struggle yourself and the team will step in and help. You also need to learn how to support people when they are struggling. Excuse me. You also need to learn how to support people when they're struggling. Another is appreciate efforts. A very simple thank you goes a long way. Thank you goes a long way with an appreciative heart. So regardless of what project you're doing, just imagine at your workplace. Imagine in your workplace, or imagine in one thing you do, or maybe you did something and one person just maybe the leader comes to you and said, thank you. How do you think you'll feel at that moment? The thank you, after 20 minutes, thank you might feel like, maybe it's just thank you. But just imagine how you feel at that moment. However you feel at that moment, we feel whatever you're going to do next, because you'll be happy to put in your best the next time you need to do something. And that is how appreciating efforts pushes team to winning. I wrote something that I said, the first quote I quote about Leonardo da Vinci, which I said, whatever he said was really right. But do you know what's more right? Successful people are indeed people who happen not to work alone, rather open their ideas and innovation to great minds and make them happen. And that is what now pushes us to the power of letting go. So I'm just going to brush this in like 2 minutes. Power of letting go. I'm just going to bring it and everything. So this is why I said power of letting go, is because of what I said. And a lot of people are actually scared of sharing their ideas. No, I don't. I have this great idea. I don't want to share it with anybody. I don't want trouble. I don't want anybody to steal my idea. Either you're thinking they want to steal your idea, or you think, why should I share with anybody? Your ego is taking place, or you have this preconceived idea in your head that I have that neighbor, but I can't talk to him and all of that. You should let go of your fears. You should let go of your ego. You should let go of those preconceived ideas if you really want to achieve anything. Because that neighbor or that friend that you think, okay, you don't want to talk to, or that colleague you don't want to talk to at work about a particular thing and all of that, might be the solution to that thing. And what are the ways that you can actually what I wrote here was, yes, how you can start letting go in team settings. What are the ways you can actually let go of some things that will make you work effectively in a team? Number one is practice active listening. Listen, do not turn deaf ear. Listen to people, listen to ideas, listen to their perspective. Don't just wait to speak. A lot of people in this world, they just want to reply. Say what you have to say, let me give you it back. Let me just throw it back to you. No, you listen, you understand. Even if you're not buying the idea, try to understand their perspective, where they're coming from. Another is admit when you need help. There's no shame in seeking support in a team. Or you have an idea, there's no shame in seeking support. I have this idea and I want to do this, I need to do this. There's no shame in asking anybody. Recognize when you're stuck and and knowing when to reach out for help. Embrace different ideas, be open to suggestion, be open to opinions, then share credit generously. Most of us just want, oh, it's shown that did it, yeah, 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 and you're working like Namito, the last one too, the one who did it. No, it's a team. That's why it's called a team. If England wins, they won't say Saka won. If France wins, they won't say Mbappe won. France won as a team. Even the ones that did not even play 1 minute on that pitch, they'll get medal because they're part of the team. You understand? Then we reflect on feedback. So most times we get feedback and we are so defensive about our feedback. No, we have to see feedback as an opportunity to grow. We have to let go of our fears, let go of our egos, let go of those preconceived ideas and reflect on these things these people has told us or whatever feedback they have given. How can I grow on this? How can I grow in this or this and that and that? And before you know, you're working to achieve that goal. I'm kind of rushing, so I'll take the last one, which is successful teamwork. The next slide. And what I wrote here is the key to successful teamwork lies in the environment we create. We need to understand that keys to success for teamwork are the condition or environment that we create for ourselves, how we treat each other in the team, how we talk to ourselves in a team, how we listen, how we imagine things together. Because ultimately, team helps when you come together as a team, it helps work perfectly. It helps us to achieve things perfectly. It makes us playing. Even when you're not friends, you realize that when you work as a team, most times for guys that like to play football, that goes okay, they just go maybe to the fields to play football. Most times you just realize that you don't even know this set of people that you're playing with. But imagine the joy between you guys when you win. You'll be jumping on each other like best of friends. And that's what teamwork does. So even people that you don't know, you just start jumping on them and all of that because working together as a team can help you achieve and discover amazing things that you don't even realize about people. You understand? Then I said something here, which is finding the magic is actually not easy. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people are scared. A lot of people have ego. I can't do this. A lot of people don't want to listen. A lot of people feel, no, 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 I beg, and all of that. But you have to let go of those things. And like I said, number one thing to work in a team is to be humble enough to work in that team. Finding that magic to work as a great team player is not easy, but trust me, it's worth it when you do it. And the last slide, which is together we win. Just like one tree cannot make a forest, one person cannot do everything alone. So whether in business, in our ideas, in family, in community, in church, in everything, teamwork will always take you further. Teamwork will always make you great. Trust me. And that's why I'm asking, or maybe rather ask yourself, are you a good team player? If you're not, you need to work on it. And if you are, you need to improve because it never stops. Let me put it that way. You can always be the better team player that you are than you were. It never stops. You can always improve because this is what I'm going to end with. Because when we move together, we move faster and we achieve more. Thank you guys for listening to my TED Talk this evening.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. This is awesome. In the cool and calm manner. Thank you so much. Let's appreciate our guests with, yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Yes. Yeah. Different emojis. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. I'm happy that you stayed all through. And I would like to appreciate our guests. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate. And as you've opened our eyes to a lot of things. I'll just mention one or two things that stood out for me, just to reiterate it for people. But while I'm doing that, I would like to encourage our audience to please try to, if you have any question, we'll be taking 3 questions. So if you have any, you can type it in the chat box or just raise your hand, and then we'll give you an opportunity to ask your question. And I like that part where you said that slide about people taking other people's ideas, and being afraid because you feel like if I tell them this thing and all those stuff. And I like the way you addressed it, more importantly. And there's this part where you said leading in different capacity in a team. We are all leaders, but we are leading in different capacity in a team. So it makes sense to, there might be a head of a group at a particular time, but you are like the head of the finance, head of the marketing, and whatever you bring to the table makes sense. It does. The other people don't have to think about it, read about it, while you can just do it, from them tapping you and waking you up to do it. So and I like the part where he said the first thing in being a good team member is to be humble. It's not that you want to be the star of the group. No, just drop that idea at first. Then listen to what people want to say. Active listening. There are a lot of people that I've met in life that do not listen. They will just be nodding their head, but when they finally say what is in their mind, you will know that they did not listen to you at all. They just wanted you to finish so that they will say their own. And admitting help when you need, it's a strength, honestly, and I think is what younger people can start using from now on. You don't want to go and be fighting with the person that wants to interview you. You just agree with the person. I didn't prepare for this particular question, but I can, read up on it and get back to you when I get this opportunity, that kind of thing. Not just to be like, they don't want to give me this job. You can admit when you need help, even in dire circumstances. Embracing different ideas, like I told some of my friends that I know somebody that does things in the opposite way of the way I want things to be done, but the person always has results. So as I had to make my mind to be mature to say, even though I don't like this person's strategy, this person achieves the goal. So I just have to drop my own emotions and get the job done. So thank you so much. This is really, really a lot, and I believe that just like you've given us permission to share the slides, whoever is interested will reach out, and I believe this is a very good piece for us to keep in our archives. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Yeah. So questions, we have 3 slots before we wrap it up this evening. Or is it very clear our guest is a good speaker, we should just go and sleep? Okay, don't be shy. You can type or you can just raise your hand, unmute yourself, and go ahead. Okay. Wow, this means you've done a good job.
No, this is actually scary. This is scary, because when a speaker speaks and you don't have, or a teacher teaches and you don't have a question, then there's something wrong somewhere.
Yeah. No. I believe they've been listening actively. We have a very engaging audience on this list of seminars. I just feel like they've not been able to find a question because you've been very clear. Okay, so okay. You see, say you're a great teacher. Yeah.
Thank you, Favor. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to say a question. Yeah. Okay. Sarah has a hand up. Yeah. Sarah, you go on. Sarah.
Yes,
You
sir.
can unmute. Yeah, please go ahead. You can just speak up here.
So I just wanted to say he's also a very great teacher, and
Ah,
Yeah.
and dissected everything he said very well.
Thank
say
you.
again.
I said he explained and dissected everything very well. His slides were very explanatory.
Yeah, that's really true. That's really true. Yeah, so I would just add one creative question to say, like you said, your street fashion Nigeria, we have a lot of young people who are not really into the work culture, that our parents had, doctors, bankers, blah blah blah. And they have these beautiful ideas of how to go about things, and stuff. What idea you said we should speak up, look for people, but what are the things that can guide us to selecting the right team? Yeah, I would like to pose that question for us. Like, how do you know who will be good team? Who will be a good team member? Like you said, Zuckerberg invited five, but two came. Something like that. How did he know the quality of people that will be called and that will matter in the grand scheme of things? Yeah, something like that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for that question. So literally, I'm going to answer this question in. I know it's just one question, but I kind of brought up two questions from it. The first is number one. You said something about we're young and we've got passion for some things, and most times our parents don't see it that way. They want some of us to be doctors, to be lawyers, to be pilots, to be whatever, and all of that. If you have the dream to become a musician, if you want to become an actor, if you have the dream to draw, to be an artist, if you have the dream to bring one idea to fruition, maybe in fashion or anything, we live in the world right now where your ideas are worth billions, more than what any doctor or lawyer or engineer would earn in a year, to be honest with you. So why did I say that? I mean, whatever your passion is right now is what you should go for. Is what you should go for, literally. So I'm just pushing that to every young person. Maybe you're confused at whatever you want to do, and it seemed like okay, everybody around me don't buy this idea and all of that. It's your passion, because literally after 50 years everybody around you won't be around you. Well, 50 years is too long, definitely. Let's just imagine you're 24. After 6 years you're on your own. At that time it will dawn on you a lot of things that you actually should have done that you did not do. That's number one. The number two is we are friends. I think, let me put it this way: the best way to understand or to realize people's potential is to have a particular skill. And this is a skill I grew over time. It's an observation skill. You need to be able to observe things. You need to be able to observe people. And number one, the only way you can observe people is to listen. Like we said, active listening. You pick points. Sometimes there's this adage that says in every nonsense there is a sense, because literally there is sense in nonsense. You understand? So when you meet friends, you meet people, you meet strangers, and when they talk, they align. There's always one particular thing that you need that they are talking about or that they have. It doesn't have to be the solution to whatever you want or whatever you have, or the solution to your problem or idea. No, it could just be a part to it. You have to embrace it. You have to ask questions. You understand? You have to ask questions. You have to open. You have to be a good conversationist, like I say. You have to be able to express things. You have to be open. You understand? Okay, you need to do this, or you've got an idea. When I was growing up, literally, I had this idea to build an app. I had this idea to build an I wanted to build an app by all means. And I started writing Python codes and all of that. Then at a point, I started Figma to UI UX and see, okay, let's see how I can do this. Let's see how I can push that. But there were different times I got stuck. But then I was working at that time. I just started working in Nigeria then. I'll go to work. In my head, I'm always looking at everybody like on a deviation, nobody understand tech really, yeah, and all of that. So I won't speak. Then there was this particular day, someone was saying something and he said, there was this time I built an app. Straight up, I looked at him. This is someone if they tell me he built an app, I'll say no. I'll argue. But imagine this is someone I've known, I've worked with for over 3 years. And the solution to what I needed was just standing beside me. Fine, it's not like, okay, he's going to help me build the app or anything. But literally, I needed someone to just put me through a few things. But the fact that we actually had to open up one day, I was just talking, he asked me, we were actually having a conversation. Then one of them asked, oh, how did you spend your weekend? I said, oh, no, I was just writing boring stuff. I was just writing codes for an app. And he said, it's nice now. I said, I didn't get what I needed. He said, what's the issue? Tell me about it. Then I started talking. And the next thing, boom, 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 he started talking, letting me know, okay, when you use Figma, this is how you should put this is how you should do this. I said, okay, I'm going to call you in the night. Then we had a video call in the night and it put me through. And boom, imagine someone I've been with for 2-3 years. And just like that in just one day. You understand? So there are a lot of people around us. There are a lot of people in this meeting. And that is why I always tell people, wherever you go, always be there. There are a lot of people in this meeting. You can always meet someone. You can always talk to someone. Always find a way to talk to someone new because you don't know who you're meeting. It does not necessarily have to be a friend. It could be a stranger. And the funny thing is we have a lot of friends that we don't even see potentials in them. I have one of my friends right now. Biola knows him. We are like three. Michael. Anytime I think of an idea, the first person hearing it is Michael. Like the first person hearing it is Michael. And you know why? Because Michael thinks in 5-dimensional ways. It thinks in different ways. What if? He has what if for like 5 different what if for every idea. So when I have conversations with him, we now break them down, boom, 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 boom. That does not mean both of us are actually going to do that. But what it means is there's always someone that can always hold my hand and push me along the path I want to go through. You understand? I don't know if that simplifies what or explains the question or whatever, but there's always that one person, and the only way you can do that is to observe and be open. Talk. Don't be scared. Don't hold back whatever you want to say or anything. Open up to people. We live in the world, we don't live in the formal world where you think, okay, if I tell you this idea, you're going to run away. We live in the world of partnership now. We live in the world of collaboration. You're bringing something to the table and bringing something to the table. You understand? I can't win alone. No matter how it is, no matter how the knowledge or the tools or whatever I have, I can't win alone. Elon Musk can't build Tesla alone. You understand? Jeff can't do Amazon alone. Mark himself can't do Meta, Facebook, whatever, the blue app alone. We live in a world of collaboration. We live in a world of partnership. You need to observe people. You need to listen to what they say, grab it, and partner with them. I hope that helps. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Identify the people around you. The people around you have the stuff that you need. And there's no way that you will know that they know if you do not engage them. So please, the power of people, the power of believing in your community. And the truth is that there's always all the energy that we need in the community that we have. And being vocal about what we want to do in the right spaces is like the key to getting these resource persons into our lives. So thank you so much for this. It makes sense to us, and we are sure that we are going to need it in the nearest future, and these words will bounce back in our hearts, and we'll be able to, make the best use of this information that we've got in this evening. So thank you so much to our guest, and thank you so much everybody for coming around. We don't like to end our meetings without reminding you and begging you in the most unprofessional way that there is a YouTube channel where we upload our videos, and it's a very good place where you can always go back in your free time to listen to the things that we've learned this evening, and you can always like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and we would appreciate if you go hunting for this video to listen one more time. I've put the link in the chat box. We have 57 followers now, which makes sense. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please just hit the link in that chat box, and then it will take you directly. So next month we'll be having the next session, which is the 11th of the sessions that we are having. We started this series of seminars, and I can tell you it's been wow for all the sessions. And next month we'll be talking about health and wellness. Amongst every other thing, there is a way that the world is very demanding now, and you need to know how to put yourself in the right shape of health for you to achieve all the beautiful ideas that are in your head. And so please, the last Sunday in March will be another date. So please tell a friend to tell a friend, and we'll be very happy to host you when the time comes. Thank you so much, family, and we do not take this for granted. We just have 2 more minutes, and then we'll be calling it a night. And I would like to leave you with a very, very wonderful video. I did not ask for consent. We are going to enjoy the video as we say bye-bye to our host. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay, so this is one of the commercials that our host was able to do before leaving us in Nigeria. And this is a way of saying thank you so much for joining, and have a good evening. See you in March.
See, we go jump and pass, cause we can learn to live story. And before any yawa we try to fall on, we go chop on like Indomie. I see. Not beg rich to divide us. Jackie can not they form titles. So now who bunk beg where they form big titles. We be river our live story. Now we going no matter the weather, no matter the time, we go there together. Stand side by side. Cause no yawa, no evil, no use style divide us. We go stand together. We go beat them down. We go beat them. We go love ourselves and protect ourselves. We go come on for this kind thing. Whether he good or he bad, with love in our hearts, we go withstand the instances. We will find our way, new hope every day. No fear in our life and no tears for our eyes. Oh, cause no matter the weather, no matter the tide, we go there together, yes. We stand side by side. Oh, no yawa, no nonsense. Go fit stand against us, we go stand together now. We go beat them down. Oh, no matter the way, no matter the time, no matter the time. Oh, we go stand strong. Yeah. We stand side by side. Yeah. No yawa, no nonsense. Now we stand against us. We go stand together. We go beat them down. Now we go win. No matter the weather, no matter the time. We go stay together. Yeah. We stand side by side. No matter the trouble, no matter the problem, no yawa. We go stand together. We go beat them down. It's sure for me, it's sure for you.
With Global, you order